people that are using creative finance right now are winning, and everybody else that's in just traditional real estate is having a hard time. The challenge is you've never called once if you haven't called twice. Write that down, newbies.
88% of your success is showing up.
I want to just call sellers. I want to go buy stuff myself. And a lot of times in my business, a lot of times in what I'm working on, I have built a machine, right? And that's the goal. The goal is to build a machine to go and buy real estate that doesn't need you. You don't have to babysit it. You got amazing people on your team. That is the ultimate goal. And I've accomplished that. I've done that years ago, which is why you guys join this community, because I know what the heck I'm doing. The challenge with that, the biggest challenge with that is you get to some point in your business where you say, I haven't been involved. I haven't been involved in seller calls, which is the thing that in the very beginning of your business, it was the scariest thing ever. Anybody afraid to call sellers? As a visionary, you get very bored doing other things in your businesses. So the best thing you can do is jump back in and cause chaos in your existing business. So in the attempt to avoid doing that, I got one actually that came from a student. Hold on a second.
This is Donna.
Hey, Donna, it's Pace. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm just having a great day. So I'm the money partner.
Okay.
I'm the annoying person that holds back all the checks and does all that fun stuff. Can you catch me up to speed where you and him were on the negotiations and where you guys kind of left the conversation?
Well, he said that he wasn't sure if the numbers worked for him, and he then talked to you and said that you are possibly interested.
Do you represent any long-term buy and hold investors, or are you primarily working with retail clients?
I'm working with my seller on this.
No, I'm saying like in your general business, do you work with other buy and hold investors or primarily retail?
Not so much, not for a while. I mean, all of a sudden they're coming out of the woodworks.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like the last quarter of the year, everybody's trying to buy rentals so they can save money on taxes. So what's the purchase price you and Rafa were working out? I'll tell you how much money I'll save on taxes if I buy the deal.
It was $367.
$367. Okay, cool.
Big difference.
You're trying to sneak in an extra $2,000. I got it.
No, I wasn't.
You guys worked out a sub-2 transaction where we just take over the existing mortgage, right?
Yep. And then he would have paid all of the whatever costs the seller would have to pay, and the commission and my commission.
Right. So that 367 includes your commission.
Yes.
And sellers getting some cash as well?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
And not very much.
Right, but the counterpart would be that they would have to bring money to the table in a regular retail transaction, right?
No, if we held at this price, she would come to the table with probably $7,000.
She would walk away from the table with $7,000?
I mean, she would, yes, sorry. Yes.
Okay, cool. But if you don't get an offer at that price and it goes on another month and she has another payment and taxes and all that kind of stuff. All right. 367 is the purchase price, okay? The IRS will let me depreciate that asset. So I get 27 and a half years of depreciation on this asset, which is pretty powerful. So if I do 367 divided by 27, this is great. I will get in my first year of owning this real estate, $10,000 tax benefit for owning this property. Mm-hmm. But what's even cooler is when you have a great CPA and you know what you're doing, you can take 7 of those years up front. So think about that. I don't get just a $10,000 benefit for buying this property. I get a $74,000 tax benefit for buying this property. Although the property doesn't really cash flow. In fact, I think it has a negative cash flow.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, well, like let's say I put a tenant in the property and they break a window. I'm negative, right? So I got up for that kind of stuff. I think the payment is $2,300.
22, yeah, just about almost 23.
Okay, and then you've also got HOA, right?
138.
Okay, so my total cost every month is $2,340, let's say, right? Even if I lose money on a monthly basis on that house, I still benefit by getting tax benefits. And so that's why an investor like me would come in at the end of the year and go, okay, there's money out of pocket. I've got to pay closing costs. Like, think about this too. When does your tenant want to move out?
She has to be out probably by January because her hire date is starting January. She got relocated to Michigan, I think.
So let's say she moves out in January. Does she want to close escrow and do a post-possession, or does she just want to close escrow and then move out the day we close?
She can move out the day we close.
Let's just make up a date. Let's say it's January 10th that she moves out, right? If she moves out January 10th, I'm not going to be able to have a tenant in that property until at least, if I'm lucky, February 1st. So that means I've got 20 days of loss of now I'm making payments. I've got utilities I got to get turned on, all that kind of stuff in order to show the property. But chances are, at least with my property management company, I probably won't have a tenant in there until like March 1st. So I'll have 2 payments lost that I'm making on the payments because I got the HOA, I got the PITI I got to cover.
Yep.
I'm still willing to do that. So the terms of the deal are we're getting your commission paid out of my pocket. I mean, the seller is not going to be able to have enough money, right? How much is the seller getting?
She would be getting a little over $7,000.
So she gets $7,000. I pay closing costs. Can I pick my title company that knows how to do sub 2 transactions?
The title company that we have is Rock Title. They are 50% savings to the buyer and seller.
What if I own the title company and you don't have to worry about the closing costs? I just pay for all the closing costs.
It's all about my seller. So
I'm happy to go through your title company as long as we have one thing in agreement.
What is that?
The second they run into issues knowing how to close one of these transactions, we switch to my title company. If we put that in the purchase and sale agreement, that if your title company has a hard time closing the transaction, that you are okay with me switching, I am okay opening escrow with your title company. We have my transaction coordinator. Her name is Molly. She's a licensed agent. I would have her use the standard armless purchase and sell agreement. And then what we just do is we go into her zip forms and pull out some creative finance addendums, and we just add them there. So they're all state approved, and then send them to you and your broker and have your broker review everything.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
So $367 purchase price, you get your commissions paid, seller gets their $7,000. I pay closing costs, close sometime in January. What else do we got to figure out?
I just want to make sure she's not coming
out of pocket.
Happy.
Yeah. Have you guys done like you haven't opened escrow, so you haven't done like a loan payoff request or anything yet?
We did when we were at the 375.
And then somebody canceled?
No, we reduced the price.
Oh, yeah, okay. Got it.
We went and bought the one behind that was cheaper and not as nice looking. Same floor plan, same everything, but it's not done as she did the flooring, redid the flooring and all of that stuff.
In your mind, what's our next steps?
Just send an offer. I know there's another investor. Well, somebody from Monterey called me and said that their investor from here would be calling me either this afternoon or tomorrow and putting an offer together. I'm
not a big offer person. I just send over a contract. So if they want to go back and forth, I'm perfectly okay with you even leveraging their offer to leverage me. I'm okay with that.
I don't want to play that game.
Oh, okay.
I'm just letting you know that there's other people. So I want to make the best deal for my seller.
I totally get that. Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to do an assignee.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Well, I'll just do I'll do a contract directly where it even says no assignee. No, nobody can assign. The name of the LLC is the LLC that has to close on the deal.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Where the other guy that just called me today is an assignee.
Do you know the first 3 letters of assignee? That's right. I tell all those guys when they try and buy one of my properties and they're like, oh, and or assignee. I'm like, what do you think I'm an How are you getting your listings now? Are you calling expireds or mostly referral?
Most referral. All of these have been referrals that I've been doing since I moved to Arizona.
From Washington?
Yes. I've only been here a year.
Do you have any agents that work underneath you?
I don't. I've always been a loner. I have my son that I trained, and he works and does the footwork in Washington because all the referrals and repeats are for me being 30 years in the business. So he's got it easy, but it's not easy for him right now because the market's sucking.
Wait, so he's an agent too?
He is in Washington.
Would he call expired listings for me and let me buy those subject to?
In Washington?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Everybody, like if you look at the MLS right now and you look at the expired listings in Maricopa County, the expired listings every 30 days are like 900 to 1,000 expired listings. And the majority of the reason is because of what you're dealing with your seller on this property, where they have a lack of equity. right? And they're like, I don't want to come to the table with money out of pocket. So they just sit on the house. So think about being an agent that understands creative finance. You are the one that calls those 1,000 listings. Like let's say your son, I teach him how to call expired listings, and he calls the expired listings. And instead of trying to get a listing, he represents me on the buy side, and I'll pay him commissions to just land those. I'll even talk to the sellers. I'll walk them through the sub-2 transaction. He could do 2-3 of these a month.
He's very, very smart. I'm more type A person than he is.
So he's more like introvert. He needs somebody to kind of guide him, and you're the opposite. You're like a driver.
Just more. He's more balanced.
So he'll stay on the phones. Like if I told him to call expired listings 3 hours a day to make 30 grand a month with me, he would do it.
He may, yes.
Here's this. After we close this deal, you know I'm not full of crap.
I'm going to look you up.
Please look me up.
Did you used to sell cars?
Hell no.
So your first name is Pace?
Pace Morby, M-O-R-B-Y, Pace Morby. I'm a YouTuber. I have a Wall Street Journal best-selling book about creative finance on BiggerPockets. I have a TV show on A&E. I've got hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate.
And are you married?
I am married. I have a beautiful wife who's a top producing agent. She's like top 1%. We have 3 kids and a baby coming in 6 weeks. What do you want more of in your business?
I want to be more successful than I already am.
In what way? Like more listings, more rentals? Like, what are you thinking?
I want to have more fun, but yet still have the cash flow coming in.
Why don't you and I do more deals together? How do we work the expired listings together and I buy a bunch of properties and pay you a bunch of money?
I'm open to that.
You won't make calls to expired listings though. I feel like you're so popular that you live entirely on referrals. I need an agent, and maybe we could bring somebody onto your team, but I need an agent that will call expired listings for me all day long. Is that something you think we could figure out?
Well, I probably have somebody that could possibly do that, which she moved here from Washington. She lives 10 minutes up the hill from me. That's why I'm here, because of her and her husband. She has been in the escrow industry for 25 years. She's a good friend of mine. I only used her. Well, now she talked me into using her here. So she's getting paid on all my closings in Washington, but it's not really doing justice for my son, because I want him to have somebody to call him and say, hey, let's go have lunch or let's do this. That's not happening with her. So she's making money on me.
If we do this deal, we can do more deals.
I would love to do more deals.
Can I show you how to buy more rentals this exact way how I'm buying it?
If you could show me, I'm open to that.
Yes. Or you want to just find deals for me and I pay you commissions? Is that what you prefer?
I do both.
Okay, let's do it. Next steps is I send over the paperwork from Molly.
Yeah. Is Molly your wife?
Molly is my transaction coordinator. Can you text me your email address and I'll put you and Molly together in an email?
I'll send you my contact info.
Okay. I'll email you and Molly together tonight, and I'll just line out what I think we talked about. I could be wrong, but I'll just say, hey, this is what I think we talked about. And then you and her can go back and forth on the details, and then she'll throw it into a purchase and sell agreement and send it over.
I want it to work for my seller. You know, obviously, she's coming on her way back from Vegas tomorrow.
I've never done a deal with a seller and an agent that did not want to give me a testimonial afterwards. So I'm all on the same page with your goals.
I reached out to my seller that I just closed up here. Mm-hmm. And I said, where's my Google review? He goes, I've been so busy and getting stuff done and unpacking. I'm going, I don't matter anymore.
It's why you pay a contractor after the job is done.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
I think you and I have probably both learned that lesson 100 times.
Yep. You know, and I always say, did you pay the contractor money yet? Well, I gave him a deposit. I said, okay, what if he doesn't go buy the material and he just leaves? People are stupid sometimes. They don't get it.
I'm kind of grateful for it, to be honest, because then I don't have to be that smart to beat everybody. Here, I'll make you a deal. If we end up doing the deal together, I'll meet you at the closing table and I'll give you your Google review as I sign the closing documents. And you can give me a testimonial as we sign the closing documents. I mean, you won't sign anything, but the seller will.
Right. And I probably will send you my son's info.
I'll put him in touch with somebody tonight. We'll have him working deals tomorrow, like hanging out with people that are out going on appointments and doing the business. Like the people that are using creative finance right now are winning, and everybody else that's in just traditional real estate is really having a hard time. So I'd love to have him tap into our community.
That's what I told my son. I said, Taylor, right now you have to change how you're doing business.
Right.
I said, if you have to go do an open house and nobody shows up, at least you're there.
Right. At least you're telling the universe that you want business instead of just sitting at home waiting for it to arrive.
88% of your success is showing up. You know, you got to be there. I don't care if anybody shows up or not. Be busy while you're sitting there. Send 10 thank you notes out. I don't know. So.
Okay. Well, good chatting with you.
You too. I'll send you my stuff, and hopefully this is all the real game. And I guess I'm going to get ready to watch D-backs.
Have fun. Send me your info and we'll get it going.
You got it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You don't have hair.
I don't have what?
That's your brother?
Where? What do you mean?
Case Zero Down.
Yep, that's me. I'm the zero down guy. Everybody comes to me to learn creative finance.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.